Jiankui. Warm welcome to you to our session X-Men. Where do we get the borderlines of genetics? My name is Schlender. I'm a science journalist and biologist and co-founder of the company Science Relations, Science Communication. And I'm very happy to moderate this session right now. So, Jiankui is a Chinese biophysicist, and he became very famous in 2018 because then he created he created the first genetically edited babies. Therefore, he used the technology CRISPR-Cas9 and modified a certain gene, the CCR5 gene of these babies, so that they became resistant against HIV. This experiment was met with international condemnation due to ethical and scientific violations, and in 2019 Jiankui was sentenced to 3 years in prison due to illegal medical practices. Released in 2022, he resumed his scientific research and is now leading an institute focused on genetic medicine in China. So, thank you very much for joining us. Our session provides the opportunity to get insights into different, very critical aspects of genetically modifying the germline of humans, scientific concerns, ethical concerns, regulatory and social implications. So, as we talked yesterday, Jiankui, I would like to invite you to give a short introduction. We lost a little bit time in the beginning. Maybe you can give us a short introduction into the topic.
Okay, thank you. So today, I'm introducing you a revolutionary technology that one day will eradicate cancer, Alzheimer's, and HIV in our next generation. It's a germline gene editing. 7 years ago, I made the world's first gene editing.
Ich brauche mehr Lautstärke.
Nana. So Lulu Nana's father is HIV-infected patient. They want a healthy baby. So we took the sperm from father and egg from mother. During the egg procedure, we fertilized the egg with sperm. Meanwhile, we use a tiny syringe to inject gene-editing formula to fertilize the egg. 9 months later, Lulu and Nana were born. They are 6 years old now. They're healthy, normal, studying in the primary school, and their parents are happy with it. So now I want to do something bigger. I'm starting a research lab in Austin, Texas, in the United States, and also in Beijing, China. Our goal is to eradicate Alzheimer's disease in our future generation. There's currently no cure for Alzheimer's disease, but by modifying a single gene in embryo before birth, our future children will be free of Alzheimer's. Gene editing technology has the power to reshape the world, like a nuclear bomb. It should be regulated by international laws. So all our research work is strictly following international ethics guidelines. I believe germline gene editing should be used only for curing disease. It should never be used for enhancing human intelligence, making people stronger, beautiful. In particular, this military use, such as making super soldier, should be permanently banned. The great philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer, German, once said, all truth passes through three stages. First, it's ridiculous. Second, it's violently opposed. Third, it's accepted as being self-evident. So my gene-edited baby science is in between stage 2 and stage 3. Just 6 months ago, South Africa becomes the first country in the world to allow germline gene editing. Public service in British, Japan, and the United States show that more than half are accepting germline gene editing to prevent the diseases. I would expect in the next 2 years, British, Japan, and Korea will make germline gene editing legal. Eventually, all countries will accept this new technology in future. In 20 years, germline gene editing will be as popular as an iPhone. The germline gene editing will cost a few $1,000s, and it will be affordable to most families. I suggest the government should pay the germline gene editing treatment in full for all citizens. Whether you are poor or rich, you will get it for free. I believe the healthy is the universal human right. So I hope you can join us, either make a donation to my lab or invest in our research or collaborating with us. Together, we will change the world for a better future. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Jiankui. So this is a very optimistic outlook. Thank you for that. I would come back to some questions behind the story. Let's talk first about the benefits, which you already pointed out. You will eradicate illnesses from humankind, finally and totally, and to the risks. So, this is a very young technology you are using, and there are discussions that off-target effects and unintended mutations remain a major concern. What are your thoughts about how safe the CRISPR-Cas technology is now for us as human beings?
So I can be confident to see today that the germline gene editing is ready to proceed. In the last 6 years, there are a lot of improvements in the gene editing tools, from original CRISPR-Cas9 to base editing and pri editing. And also we have gene sequencing became very cheap. We could easily sequence the whole genome to find any off-target or any side effect. So today, it's safe to do it now.
Okay, let's talk about the regulation framework. If I understood you correctly, you told us that there should be international framework for this technology, right? Did I get you correctly?
Yes.
Yeah. So what kind of regulation, how should it be regulated then from your point of view? So there was some kind of regulation in China in 2018, which gave you some problems, difficulties and problems after you created the the edited babies. Then China brought up more strict regulations. How do you think about these regulations, and what should be changed internationally?
I would say first, there must be some international organizations to regulate the germline gene editing globally. It could be the WHO or some other organizations to oversize all those research activities across the world. Second, we should continually update the ethics guidelines, because the society is evolving. Today, more and more people are accepting germline gene editing. So we should modify our ethical guidelines to reflect what people are thinking today. Also, of course, we should set some red lines. What we can do, what we should never do. What we can do is, of course, cure disease. What we should never do is, for example, military use or enhancement.
How will you prevent that this technology will not be used for military use, or, for example, for enhancement of human abilities like intelligence, or you mentioned beauty? There have to be some strict regulations to prevent this. How should that work?
Well, I think we should punish those people who are violating these ethical guidelines.
From my point of view, there has to be an organization, an or global organization, which has an overview who's doing what, and to make these punishments. They have to be contracts with every country in the world. Do you think that is possible to? And which organization should that be?
Well, I have no idea on that.
Some people say, and yesterday we talked together a little bit, that stricter regulations would stop science, especially in this field, to make progress. And as far as I understood, you gave me the impression that the European Union is too strict on that topic. Did I understand you correctly? And what should the Europeans change?
Well, European countries are among the most conservative countries in any new technology. So I'm not interested in Europe at all.
This is a forum about democracy and values, and I joined different sessions, and there was one point where people were saying, okay, we as Europeans are not allowed to bring our values to other countries, for example, to China, because you have your own system of values. What do you think about that with concern of the topic of genome editing, where we are in Europe are very strict?
Well, I would say there are some things, universal human values that may first proposed by European countries, but it should be adopted globally. For example, let's say, health is the universal human right. That's true for European people, but also true for Chinese people. It should be accepted globally. And for example, we should show mercy for people in need, for those people who have disease, to help them. Those are universal human values. We should adopt it, even as a Chinese.
So now I would like to address the point how there could be equitable access and avoiding a genetic divide. You already addressed that in a certain way, as you said that these therapies would be much more cheaper than conventional therapies, so there would be a broader access to them. So do you support the idea of public or governmental funding for genetic therapies to ensure accessibility, or should that be a private sector?
Oh, I believe this should be provided as a public good to all citizens, with the government cover all the necessary expense. But I also want to mention that whether the parents use it or not, it's their option. The government should never enforce the parents to do it or not do it. It's up to the parents to decide for their unborn children based on their love to their children.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a look on the long-term implications of these technologies for the human evolution and biodiversity. So your work was an attempt, or was seen as an attempt, to guide human evolution in a specific direction. And if you tell us that you want to eradicate certain illnesses completely from humankind, it will be that. Do you believe that genome editing could or should even play a role in shaping future generations? Is that the intention?
Well, that's something I'm deeply concerned. So actually, the gene editing could prevent cancer. For example, by increasing the DNA repair capacity, so our future generation will no longer have any gene mutation, and therefore eradicate cancer completely. But I'm worried that without gene mutation, there will be no evolution, and so there may be, in long term, there will be no, we human will no longer be controlled by Darwin's evolution. That's something I'm really worried about.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that there could be some potential unintended consequences of widespread germline editing in human evolution?
Well, if we keep all those ethical principles and firmly adapt it, I think the risk is minimal.
Okay. Are there ethical commissions, maybe ethical commissions you're working in, who are addressing that subject? Do you think that there should be more discussions and more research in that area?
Absolutely. I would encourage more people talking about it either on TV or like the World Forum or any other place. More people get engaged, including we should have religion people get involved. Because this something will affect our human as a species.
Yeah. So how do you see the future of genetic modification? Will it become a mainstream medical treatment in the future? What's your side on that?
In the future, I would say the gene editing therapy will be as necessary as electricity and water to us.
Mm-hmm. So absolutely necessary. What about the necessity then to widespread that all over the world? I mean, China is an industrialized country like the European countries or the US, but there are other areas in the world, like in Africa, which lag behind.
Well, I think actually people live in Africa, for example, in South Africa, they are in urgent need of this technology because they have 10% to 20% of HIV infection rate. They need those technology to prevent HIV infection for their future children. I think we should encourage the African countries to adopt this technology and make it affordable to African people.
But so far, they don't have no voice in this development.
Exactly.
Shouldn't that be changed? Shouldn't we engage them much more in these in the development of these technologies, so that they have a say over it?
Well, why don't you invite the African people to the World Forum and talk about it?
I thank you again, Jiankui, for your time and for the very interesting insights into your research and about the topics we discussed here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.